Hello and welcome to the Halifax Real Estate Podcast. I am your host, Jason Paul, licensed realtor in Halifax since 2017 and team lead of the Infinity Real Estate Group at eXp Realty of Canada, Inc. This podcast was created to help you understand a little more about the Halifax and Nova Scotian real estate markets. If you like what you hear, I would really appreciate it if you hit the subscribe button. Thank you so much and enjoy the show. We have a new sale price.
We do. We have a hell of a new sale price.
Halifax has a brand new all-time sales high.
Yeah.
What came out? Because we say this every time. You look at the median price, I look at the average. So what was the median?
The median only came out at $595.
That's still
because it's still high, but it's kind of been in that like $585 to $595 every month for the past 4 months.
Right.
Because the median is deliberately trying to strip out the super high stuff and the super low stuff.
Yeah,
to find a chunk in the middle.
Yeah.
And that's like, when we look at the average this month, something like 37 properties over $1 million.
Yeah.
One at $11 million, another one at $3.5 million. You're like, it's going to pull the price up. Whereas the median says, let's ignore that top 10%. Let's ignore the bottom 10.
Let's get rid of the anomalies and we'll just do because I'm average and we came out at 666, which
interesting number.
So funny enough, 666,000. We did a podcast last week with Matt Legato from ND Mortgage, and we did a podcast on, I think we were talking about the new construction HST being waived.
HST,
yeah. And I called him because he was banging. He's always banging on about affordability and how like houses are unaffordable, but they're making them more accessible, which is true. And I called him being like, "You'll never guess this number that came out." Because I said in the podcast that Halifax has been 600K average, and we've been up 20 and down 20 for the last few years. Like we just seem to be around that 600K average sale price number. And he goes, "What's the number?" And I go, 666. And he goes, "That's the sign of the devil. We're fucked." Just
I wouldn't quite go that far, but that's a hell of an average price.
666,000 Halifax. The average price for April 2025 is 666,000. How do you feel about that? Go if you want to stick with the median 595. I don't care. They're both fucked. How do you feel about that price point?
It's too high.
Thank you.
I mean, call a spade a spade. It's too high. When you're looking at people, I mean, I got 3 kids. Yours are a little younger than mine, funnily enough.
Almost 2.
And my eldest is 25.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to encourage him to please tell me you're saving as much money as you possibly can to get a down payment to get on the property ladder. And now it's like, have you got let's say 10%? Have you got $72,000? Because don't forget, we need deed transfer tax, got to pay for lawyers, got to pay for house inspections.
Yeah.
I'm like, do you have $74,000 saved up? And that's still CMHC insured with a premium because it's 10%.
Yep.
And I'm like, it's tough.
Oh, it's tough.
Really tough.
It's tough.
And again, depends on his area and stuff. And, him being him, he's like, well, I want to be in downtown Halifax Peninsula.
That's a 25-year-old male.
Exactly. Yeah. So I'm like, look, I get it. But, this is at a price point when we're talking affordability.
You're so far.
All it can do, because that's where we're talking at 666 is HRM.
Yeah.
So instantly you're going, do you feel like going to Enfield, Elmsdale, Lance, Mount Uniac? Windsor is not exactly cheap anymore either.
No.
New construction, 1,200 square foot bungalow on slab, $430,000
in Windsor.
Avonport. So
I was gonna say Windsor's actually a little higher than that for brand new construction.
If you wanted a bungalow, because client was looking, and I was like, okay, maybe I feel like retiring to Windsor. 575. For a 1,400 square foot bungalow,
thank you.
Semi-detached.
Yeah, because we're pricing out Anya's parents moving down from Ontario, and they want to do a brand new build because they're coming with Ontario money. And we priced out acre lot, Falmouth, brand new build, 2,000 square feet, bungalow slab, 860. Now, let's be very, very clear. It's a bougie build. Like,
Right.
no, there's no expense being measured here. Like, they're
Yep.
buying
Yep.
a house with, you know what I mean?
Yep.
But even 860, we were like,
Yeah, and let's not forget, at some stage, somebody somewhere is gonna have to sell that house, that
yeah,
bungalow.
me. Or
Yeah.
actually be Anya. It'll be Anya.
Yeah.
It'll be
Yeah.
Anya. It's her parents.
But 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 you look at that and say, "Okay, will 860 equate to 950
Right?
in 15, 20 years?" I don't know,
Yep.
like, how long they're gonna last,
Right?
because by that time, you probably won't be ready for a bungalow in Falmouth.
No.
Maybe, maybe not, but I don't know. Could you
Yeah.
afford 950? So
No,
it's
not
that's the
today.
issue.
No.
And a lot of times I'm looking at stuff that people are buying, and I'm like, you better be really smart in today's world, at
Oh
today's
my
average
god.
price, what you're buying, if you even have an inkling that in 5 years you're thinking of selling.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Because I don't know, some of the prices that people are buying at, I'm like, I don't know in 5 years if this is gonna go up.
I I there are some like there are some prices you see that you're just like, I genuinely don't know. Like I have
Yeah.
no idea. Like like we're having conversation with clients now of like who are like how do I insulate myself from, market, like if there's a correction, like how do we protect ourselves? And it's always the same
Yeah.
thing. Yeah, you have to buy a shitty house. Like
And
that's
do renovations
and do
and force the
renovation.
equity. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Get like buy something cheaper. Like you don't need like get a hammer, get equipped, like
Yeah.
do a kitchen, do a bathroom. Don't gut the whole thing, but do something just to help protect you. Cause like
Yeah.
there like we're showing okay, tell you what, I have clients, we talk about them off camera in the green room, but same people, we've been looking for 6 months. Budget's like 550 in like the Aylesford strip up to
Yeah.
Grand Pré. So that strip of valley.
Yeah.
I think I've shown them every fucking thing under 550,000. I'm very,
Yeah.
very familiar with that price point now. Like 400,000 to 550 in that strip of valley. I know every friggin' listing.
Yeah.
And
You're the man.
yeah, don't want to be the man, but I'm the man. um,
Sometimes you don't have a choice.
no, no, no. You do what the client wants. Let's be clear.
Yeah.
Um, but every single house we went into, I was like, this is what your dollar gets. This is what 500 grand gets you. Like, this is what for like it just couldn't like. And they wanted move-in ready,
Mhm.
but like I never got the vibe that they were like high end move-in ready. It was just like we just don't want to swing a hammer. Like we just want something comfortable.
Yeah.
It wasn't anything egregious on square footage, but like every house just felt like God, like this is what $500,000 gets you nowadays. Like this, like the
Yeah.
kitchens are dated, the bathrooms are dated, the basement's terrifying, the lighting sucks, the paint sucks, the floor sucks, the windows are wood. Like we're
Yeah.
just going through, and you're like, this is like,
Yeah.
I don't
So this
know.
I mean, this is a similar thing conversation-wise to working with a client now. We helped him buy, oh, when was it? Like 2019. And then
Oh, he's
he kinda
fine.
went yeah, he went off though and sold his house privately because he was like, "Well, I've finished my job. I'm going away for a year."
Yep.
Figured out he could sell it on his own. Don't even wanna know how much money he made, but I'm sure he's done okay from it. So now he's back and he's like, "Okay, I'm going to use realtors to buy, but I'm never going to use a realtor to sell." So that's like, okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
Um, but we're
Did he call
looking
you
at
back at
stuff.
least to buy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
he
Good.
called me
At least
back
he
like
called you to.
2 months ago or something like that. And it's like, so need to buy a house. And my brain went, "What? You already own a house." But, and then the whole story came out. So I'm like, whatever, like you do you.
Yeah.
So we're
Well,
now looking at
buying's free,
houses.
right?
Well,
I do always say this, like people that want to
with a
sell their own
caveat,
house. I do, but
like
I
it's
like
not free.
the seller pays the commission. So like
Yes.
if you're buying a house, like I always make this argument of like I understand the logic of selling without a realtor. Like I
Yeah.
understand that you want to save the commission, and
Yeah.
that I can wrap my head around. Buying without a realtor, it's free.
Yeah.
Like the seller pay like that's like to defend this human, like I always advocated being like, I don't know why you wouldn't use us. We're just a second set of
Yeah.
eyes when you're buying.
True.
You know what
And
I
we
mean? Like,
protect your ass a lot.
you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
when you're buying, if like the commission's free, it doesn't make
Yeah,
any
it's not
sense
cut
for
by a buyer. No.
yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
like so if I'm
Yeah.
gonna defend him here and be like, I understand
There
that.
you go.
Now if you got now, do I think you should sell your house privately? Fuck no. That's such a big hassle. And like the
Yep.
amount of I will stand by it. The value good realtors provide sellers
True.
is worth every dollar
Yes.
and then some for the value
Yeah,
we bring. But anyway,
exactly.
that's another
Yeah.
conversation.
Yeah.
Anyway, he called
So
you to buy after
he's
selling
going
his house.
yeah, and he's going through the same thing, but we're looking at, like,
Mm.
$500,000 in Mount Uniac.
Oh no.
There's a this is where I might take discussion with the realtors that are listing it, because 'cause I'm like, "Okay, you clearly don't have a lot of interest in this property because your photographs 100% are taken with a phone, and you didn't clean your lens before you took the photo." 'Cause they're all
Wow.
different sizes, like, in
Yeah.
terms of, like, they're not, like, 724 by 724. It's like
Yeah.
one's portrait, one's landscape, and it's all messed up, and
Yeah.
then I'm like, "This is not a 3,000 square foot bungalow with a basement. This is 1,400 square feet because the basement is not finished in a livable fashion.
Oh
It's
god.
just drywall on the outside walls,
Yeah.
which is what it's supposed to be with the insulation,
Yep.
and that's it. Couple of studs that aren't drywalled either. So the stud wall is there, but it's just 2 by 4s and that's it. So I'm like,
So not finished.
this is not 2,900 square feet. This is
No.
1,400 square feet with unfinished basement space that needs finishing properly. So no
Yeah.
flooring, no proper drywall, no mud taping, no ceiling,
Okay.
plugs and lights.
Yeah, so, definitely unfinished. Like, not even, like,
Definitely unfinished.
flooring and walls finished, they have to do a
No, no,
ceiling, just
no, no,
unfinished.
just
Okay.
completely unfinished.
500,000.
500,000.
Okay.
No garage.
Oh
Yes,
my
it's
god.
on 2.9 acres of land, drilled
Okay.
well, septic field. Problem is, you go, I would say, 600 meters down the road,
Oh
and there
god.
was a fully finished, single attached garage bungalow with a basement, quite nice and shiny from the photographs. So pinch of salt there, but like,
Yep.
fully finished,
Yep.
newer.
Okay.
Sold for 525.
It's a
So
great
my
comparable for
guy
you.
is doing the smart thing.
Yep.
500. What could I sell at if I was all finished? I'm like, if you finish that extra basement and do or do not a garage, your choice. But let's say that you finish the basement and you renovate everything. So we're talking bright green bathrooms, a green carpet, a pale blue
Okay.
carpet, a burgundy carpet, and then like laminate floor everywhere else that needs to be finished.
Okay.
Trim around where the laminate flooring, trim is
Yep.
not totally finished,
Okay.
but absolutely needs repairing. All the laminate is separating, like all over
What
the place, so it's not
okay.
been installed properly either.
Yep.
They want 500. We're like, we need to put in conservatively
100.
125 grand's worth of work,
Yeah. Yep.
not including the garage.
Of course.
So then it would probably be worth, because we're finishing the basement, let's say let's say 569 it'd be worth when it's finished. So let's start with the
Because the
569
big thing is
as
the
the
square
square
footage bump,
footage.
right? Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So let's take the 569, let's knock off the 125. That gets us down to roughly like 450, 430, somewhere
Yeah.
around that range.
Yep.
But it needs a garage,
That's
needs re-landscaping, all these other things as well. So send an offer in, being
at
very
450?
cheeky. No, send an offer in at 400, being
Good. Okay,
very
I was gonna
cheeky.
say, Richard, you're being very generous here
I
for
know.
the numbers you're
And
talking about.
we know that 400 is low, but I'm like, I need your seller to be realistic because
I
500.
don't know if that's low because I would have looked at it the same way of my only argument for that when I have a conversation with sellers when I'm
Yep.
selling a house, and let's say there's an unfinished space, right?
Yep.
Or let's say they talk about potential in a house.
Yes.
Oh, well, like if you do the kitchen and bathroom, you can really it goes up by 100 grand. And it's
Yeah,
like,
it does. So
so
you're going to do it.
and I always go, okay, why aren't you doing it?
Yeah,
And they're like, well, we don't want to. I go, yeah, you don't get to. Ah, thought
and
you
you
were on Do
go,
Not Disturb.
I know somebody broke it.
um, I always try to remind them, like, there is a like, we can't say what this dollar value is, we don't know it, but there is a dollar value put onto the fact that you're basically telling a buyer you're charging them a premium for the net value increase of the work they're going to do, and no buyer is falling for that shit anymore.
True.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like,
Yeah.
you don't get to charge me 500 grand because the closest comparable is 525, but they have a garage, finished base, and fully finished house, and then you expect me to pay 500 or maybe
And
get
then
it
do all the work to get
and
it
then
like
do all
this.
the work. So I'm sunk cost fallacy of 100K in the
Yeah.
hole, unless the market goes up to 666,000, then we're all
And I'm also going back to our conversation about be careful what you buy for.
Yeah,
I'm like, well, at some stage, you are going to want to sell this house.
yeah.
We're in Mount Uniac. Yes, you have extra land, but there's not a ton of amenities in Mount Uniac. This isn't like saying we're moving to Lower Sackville where you've got everything within 2 minutes drive of where you live. I'm
Right.
like, no, this is like we're out a little bit.
2.86 or 2.6 acres of land. You have not much in driving distance or
True.
walking distance.
Yeah,
Anyway,
exactly. Yeah. So we got to be really careful because yes, you might want to go do all these work, and I'm sure you're going to try and sell it yourself. However, if you come to me and then say, "Great, I need you to list it. By the way, can I list this at like I don't know, like 669, 670?"
yeah,
I'm going to be like,
no
no,
chance.
we can't."
No
So
chance.
that's why I'm kind of like working, and I was like, "No, you're right. Like this is the best we can."
Right.
So we got the conversation from the listing agent that says, "My client says the offer is so low, it's not even worthy of a response." And I'm
Okay.
like, "Okay, you just keep going with your shitty photographs, your shitty marketing, your shitty price. Good luck." Because I'm like, "We're done," you know?
I the thing I always find, like, when I do that, like, when I come in low, I always try and call the agent. I'm sure you did it too, where you're like, "Hey,
Oh,
like,
yeah. Yeah.
we're
We
coming
had a
in low."
conversation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, where you're like, "Here's the logic. Here's the reasoning. Here's the rationale.
Yeah.
Here's
Yeah.
what we're going by
And we sent her
cost."
the cost breakdown of like,
Ye
here's the
yeah.
numbers. Like, if you can argue that and say we could do it cheaper, y- maybe, but we're the ones spending the money, not you and your client.
Right. Or, "Hey, if you can get 500 grand if you're willing to do all this before closing."
Hmm. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, you
Exactly.
don't if you think your house is worth it, put the money up.
Yeah. And they
So
definitely don't want to,
no.
judge by the way that they live in the house. They definitely
Or
don't want to do the work. No way on earth.
judging by the way they let photographs go on MLS, I don't wanna do the work.
No, exactly. Yeah. And these aren't like, without giving a lot away, these aren't
Yeah.
new agents. These are agents that have been around a while as well.
Yeah. Yeah, but,
And that's,
that's all.
I think that's the one thing that I look at the square footage and I'm like, no. Like, you people, agents, you know better. So I'm
Yeah.
like, do we kind of mention it quietly to their broker to say, listen, you might want to get your agents to check this listing because I don't think it's right.
You're gonna call the broker. I mean, that would be
Well, it's either that or I go to the real estate commission, or you can, on our back end realtor system, you can do that, like send a
yeah,
query or whatever it is.
you can
I might
flag
do
it.
that to say my understanding is it's got to be fully finished to include this square footage. See what happens. But either way,
Oh,
I'm like, no, that's to a member of the public, that's misleading. It's not
100%.
2,900 square feet. It is
Yeah.
not 2,900 square feet. It's 1,400.
There's a reason why our industry has a reputation that it has, or like
Mm,
any sales industry has a reputation that they have,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
And it's for shit like that,
yeah,
right?
exactly.
It
Yeah,
it's not the good people. I mean, if the H has been around the block for a while, like that's just downright. You've either become incompetent or you don't give a fuck,
yeah, yeah. One of
right?
the two.
It's
Yeah,
one of the two. You
yeah.
just anyway. So how's your guy who bought in 2019 sold
Mm,
privately, so he made a bunch of money, has come
likely.
back into the market. We're
Yeah,
talking about these home prices being so high. How is he finding the market now that he's back into it?
frustrating. And he's kicking
Yeah.
himself he didn't buy something last year. And I'm like,
Yeah.
yep, probably everybody who's looking this year that could have bought last year is probably thinking the same.
Right.
Because
Right.
yes, there might have been less listings around last year, but we can go back to last year. I'm sure the prices weren't. Let's ignore the 666 as kind of a little bit of an outlier.
Yeah.
Even what was last month, like 625, 630. It was still
I
a
got it.
six, wasn't it?
It was in the 6. We started at 585 though. January
Yeah.
25 was, uh,
So it was
hold
like
on,
middle of
January
last year.
26th. So January 26th was 583,
Yeah.
February was 608, March was 623, and then April was
666.
666.
Yeah. So
So
even if he'd have gone last year, and I think that's some of his disappointment is because he can work from home 3 days a week. So he's not like, well, I have to be inside of HRM to travel to wherever head office is that he's working.
right.
No, no, I can commute and I
Yeah.
can, just work from home 3 days a week. So it's not an issue.
Yeah.
So hence we are looking at the Elmsdale, Enfield, Lance, and the Mount Uniacs of the world to try and get a little bit more value. And he's not afraid of swinging the hammer and fixing them up. Like he knows what to do. He can take a pretty rough and ready 400 and make it into a 600 with renovation. He can do that.
Okay. Okay.
So he's deliberately looking for that kind of product.
As he should.
But but again, the availability. I
This
mean,
crap.
we've been looking for probably 2 months, and we've looked at 3 houses.
I
You know,
I do there's a few things in there. One, you know, a conversation I'm having a lot with older people is, and I brought this up on the last pod too. I'm having this conversation with older families who have been in their house for 25 years, 30 years, and they're
right?
like, our home's like up like 4 times the amount we paid for it. Like,
Yeah,
oh my God. Um, they have nowhere to go. They have all
yeah,
this money. And what I mean
yeah,
by nowhere to go is like the when you get I'm sure you see this too. When you have someone that's been in a house for 25, 30 years, they've paid it off and they think they're sitting on this massive nest egg.
yeah,
They
yeah.
always go with, I'm gonna be mortgage free.
Yes, yeah,
And then you introduce them to, because they always want a brand new build or something recently built, and it's usually
yeah,
a slab on grade. And it's
yes,
usually a bungalow
yeah,
because they're older.
yeah. Don't want to do stairs.
And every single time it's, I can't do that. I'm gonna have a mortgage.
Yeah,
Every single time. And then it's
yeah,
always gonna be, well, there's resale. Well, I don't want old because
yeah,
I've lived in my home for 30 years. It's old. I want new.
yeah,
I want pretty, I want shiny, I want slab, I don't want steps.
yep.
But I can't get what I want, so I'm just not gonna sell,
For
which
the money. Yeah,
they always come down to I'm not selling, which is fair enough.
yeah.
I just find it fascinating that a conversation of the people who got all the money, the people who have been holding on to these houses for decades and have all this money, I find it fascinating that they cannot move where they wanna move, because 'cause you'd think we have all this money.
Mm, yeah,
You know what I mean? I
yeah,
find that, and it's like I was talking to Andrew Hutchins about this, last week, and we was along the lines of, like, is real estate like a wash? You know what I mean? Like, you're in the
yeah,
market, your house goes up 500 grand because you bought in 2018, but
yeah.
everything else went up 500 grand. So
You're just swapping.
you're just swapping box for box and you're
Yeah,
playing with debt. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Like,
yeah,
and so now you're looking at houses and you're like, "Holy crap," like,
yeah. Well, it's kind of the same thing that me and Jane are going through now. Because
yeah.
yes, apart from our youngest one bouncing home every summer for the next 3 years, maybe 4 years, like whatever it's going to be, I'm like, we don't need to live in a 2,800 square foot 2 story with a fully finished basement, a detached double garage, more decks than I can shake a frigging stick at, and too much grass that takes me 2 hours to cut every summer. Like, and a
Yeah.
driveway that takes me an hour and 15 minutes, hour and a half to snowblow.
Yeah.
I'm like, we don't need to live here. But equally, I've become far too used to the peace and quiet, the privacy. Everything's set up exactly as I want it. There is
Yep.
nothing to do apart from one ensuite bathroom to renovate. And then I'm like, there's nothing more to do to this house. Like, we're at the peak of what we could have renovated and what we could have changed. So
Yes.
now it's just maintenance. Okay, in
Yep.
2 years, I need a new roof. Okay, well, what to do? That's not adding value to my house. Sorry to
Nope.
burst everyone's bubble, but you put a new roof on a house, it ain't adding value. It's
They
called
just
deferred
expect it
maintenance.
to be functioning.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
yes, I know it doesn't leak, and I know I don't need to do it, but peace of mind, I'd rather do it now. Like
Yep.
joking with the plumber. I've had 2 leaks in my furnace because we have an oil-fired furnace that does hot water.
Yep.
And twice I've gone in there and went, why is that wall wet? Shit. Call the plumber in. changes one fitting, $150 or whatever it is.
Yeah.
6 months later, why is that pipe dripping? Call a plumber in, $150. This time, instead of me fitting that one drip, I'm like, Matt, rip it all out and put fresh piping in. And he's like, why? The rest of it's fine. Because I just don't want the hassle of
Yeah.
calling you back in 6 months because another fitting's gone. So we just did all of that. And I'm like, that's the kind of stuff we're starting to do now.
Yeah.
Because it's not, do I need to do it? It's because it's annoying the nuts off of me
Yeah.
that I'm going to have to fix it at some stage. So just do it now. Just come in.
Right.
You're already here. Just do them all. And
Yeah.
he's like, good idea.
Yeah,
Because
'cause
you'd have been calling me back every 6 months for the next 2 years to fix one lease. So
yeah, because the other thing though is like because you know you're gonna leave, like you will leave one day. You're not gonna stay in that house,
absolutely.
right?
Yeah.
And you
Yeah.
will
You're
have
not
to
carrying
hand
me out in a coffin.
right. So like you are gonna hand it off, which is something that like most sellers you're doing that because you're a realtor and you're a good one.
Yeah.
Most sellers don't think like I have to hand this box off.
True.
Usually we're the ones that come in and we're like, you need to do da 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 da
Mm.
da 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 da.
Yeah.
And they're
Yeah.
like, why? And we're like, because you're handing this thing off and you need
Yeah.
and you want and every seller, highest
Yeah.
dollar value. Well, that
Yeah.
there's
Yeah. Fix
you're
your stuff that
selling
you
a
should have fixed.
product.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's the same thing we're looking at is like, okay, where do we go and how much? And that's why, again, we were just chatting before we came on about like, bungalow on slab,
Yeah.
1,200 square feet in Windsor. Because I'm like, Windsor's a nice place. It's got little coffee shops. It's got a little schoolhouse brewery. There's a little lake nearby. It's not that far to Halifax. It's not that far to the valley. It's like this perfect little spot. It's got a good rec center. It's got a
Yep.
hospital. I'm like, for people who are older, like, possibly getting into their late 60s into the 70s, perfect little spot.
Yep.
I'm sorry, I have to pay $575,000
Yeah.
and I'm only going to be selling here for, I don't know, like 750 or whatever the number's going to be. I'm like, wait a minute, that's less than $200,000. I'm like, I don't know whether I feel like Richard being the type Brit. I don't know whether I feel like paying $575 for a bloody bungalow on slab with a joining wall because it's semi-detached, so
Of
the neighbors are
course.
on, and no
Yeah.
backyard and no privacy. And I'm like, I don't
Yeah,
know.
you can't it's hard
I don't know.
it's that and that's where you're back into like we said it before, the house prices are too high. Your dollar
Yeah,
is like what you're getting is just I don't
yeah,
get it. It's
yeah.
funny. I only like we really only see like Annie and I are always looking, but that's because Annie wants to buy another house and she wants to gut another house and she wants to renovate another house because
Oof,
that's what
again,
she wants. It's what she wants to do. She wants to get into that for her business. She wants to get into flipping.
right. She wants to be a fix and flipper.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Oh yeah. She watches. Oh yeah. That's her like her end
But the
goal is
problem
to
is you're going to get pulled into it like you did the last time. And then you're
listen.
like, well, wait a minute. Where's my business gone?
Listen, I know for a fact I married into this. I knew what I signed up for.
You need to go and make all the money you possibly can so you can
That
take 6 months
that
off.
that's exactly and she knows that. Yes. Yeah.
Okay,
So
good. As long as you go into it fully aware that this is going to happen,
I
you're
am
okay.
well aware I married a monster.
Yeah,
Um but so we're looking at so she's always showing me any fixer upper in
yeah,
around us because we want to stay in the same area. And she
yeah.
showed me one last night. It's like 3,000 square feet, dated everything with a
Right.
single attached garage, 415, and it's like on the cusp. It's an Avonport, which is the exit before
Yes.
Wolfville,
Yeah.
right? So she's like, "What do you think?" I go, "Well, actually, like that's reasonably priced, and like you could finish it and do everything right, and you probably would have a 650, 700K house."
That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, you
for
just got
like
to spend like 100 or less.
125,
Yeah, that's not, yeah,
150 in there.
that
Yeah,
doesn't
yeah, so
sound
it's
unreasonable.
priced well.
Yeah,
The only thing what I was gonna say is though is those are really the houses I'm seeing value in. Like
yeah,
the fully finished ones that are like either brand new or completely fully finished, like it's almost like, okay, well, we're at 666. Where do I go from here? Like when we
yeah,
buy this thing that's move-in ready, turnkey, all the bells and whistles,
yeah.
like where do you like how do you like what do you expect that ceiling to get to?
Well, this is the thing, like, if you look now at 666, and let's just say that there weren't too many over $1 million
Yeah, yeah,
stuff that
no,
sells.
they're
Let's
not
say
the
six six
anomalies.
Yeah, let's
Yeah.
say this is a normal month and we come in at 666. You're like, do we really think that the average price in the whole of HRM for single family homes could be 700 or more? Because that's what
No.
you would need to happen.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
I'm just like, well, the only people then that could kind of afford houses is generational wealth people or
Yep.
people who bought 20 years ago and can talk to their kids and say, like, it's okay. We've got like 500,000, 600,000, whatever is the equity in our house, and we can take some of that out and give
Gives
it
you
to
the
you.
down payment. Yeah.
So you're going to get gifted
Right.
because you look at the price and again, go back to that whole like, my son, 10% down payment and everything else. I'm like, yeah, he's only been working for 3 years. I know
Yeah.
he doesn't have $75,000 in cash saved up. I
Yeah.
know he doesn't. But equally, I'm like, with his earnings and what his outgoings are, how long would it take him to get to that kind of level?
You're right.
And I'm like, okay, he's lucky because his dad is his landlord and he's giving him a 50% discount. So he's
Yeah.
lucky.
Yeah.
But, I can't, my middle daughter, she's not living in daddy's rental building. My youngest daughter, she's not living in daddy's rental building. So I'm like,
Right.
I can't do this for 3 kids. Like, Jack, you're lucky. You were the first one and you're lucky because I could do that for you. But like, Anya and her boyfriend, they're paying how much are they paying? I think they're paying like 2,300 a month between the
Yeah.
two of them. And I'm
Yep.
like, "Oof," like,
Yep.
I don't
Oh,
know what her take home is, but,
we had this conversation. My Andy and I had this conversation where we were talking about because we're our next house, we're gonna flip it, but I think where the plan is that one is gonna be like our base camp for a few years.
yeah,
Like we're not gonna buy another one and rent it. Like we're not.
yeah,
We're we're doing the trick of we bought this one for 5% down, renovate it. We're gonna
yes,
move out, leave it as an
yeah,
Airbnb, go five
yeah,
percent the next one,
yeah.
renovate that, probably a second investment property, and then the third one I think is gonna be base camp or
So,
2 or 3 gonna be base camp.
arguably,
Yeah, yeah.
that's the best strategy for
Right.
people in their 20s right now.
Agreed. Agreed.
But do the people in their 20s want to swing the hammer and do the work?
Well,
Because I know
what I
Jack doesn't.
Well, what I was gonna say is, when we were looking, Anya's always throwing houses at me because
Yeah,
she's like, "We're getting ready. Like Sophia's getting big." And I agree. We're planning on having a second kid.
yeah,
Daughter's getting too big, or shit's getting everywhere. Like we're a 1,200 square foot house. Like we need. My wife needs to
yeah.
stop buying shit so I can stop being buried in shit. Anyway,
Good luck.
shows me like pitches like a $700,000 new build because her parents looking at buying 860 new build and the
Yeah,
lot next door is for sale and the builder was going to give us a discount for buying both.
right.
So Anya was like, "Do you think we could do 700?" And I'm like, "We can qualify for that mortgage, but do you want a $4,000 a month mortgage? I
Yeah,
don't.
that's a lot.
I want nothing to do with a $4,000 a month more. I do not
Yeah.
want a consistent bill of $4,000 a month. Like that is
Regardless. Like, you haven't bought groceries yet, fuel in the car, you haven't insured it, you haven't heated it, you haven't paid property taxes.
all
That's
I,
just
like
one bill.
like and the caveat for us is like this will be an Airbnb. This will pay us a good amount of money.
Yeah.
Like this would probably pay for judging by our cash flow analysis, like this when this is running, it'll pay for this and the next one.
Hmm.
Even at a $600,000, $700,000 purchase price.
Yeah.
But I still don't want a $4,000 commitment every month. Like that means
Regardless.
that means every month I have to do 2 sales. We do that anyway, but I still like 1 sale just for
Oh,
bills.
yeah. But when you have to do 2, now you've got real pressure. It's not
Yeah.
like, "Oh, it's nice to do 2." It's like, "No, no, no, have to."
Yeah. Yeah. Like and that's exactly like that's why I don't that's why I don't get about the market. Cause like we
Yeah,
talk about, 666. So I talk about this a lot, but there's a reason for it where like to get that average sale price, it was deals done in the last 2 months because
yeah,
they were listed, they
exactly.
firmed February, March, and they closed in April. And all the closings in April are that sale price.
Yeah,
And I've just, every year it's the same. Like February, March, April are always dog shit for buyers
yeah,
every time.
Yeah.
Every single year, and I've realized it I've seen the trend in the last 2 years, and, like, the trend is simple. Everyone start of the year, everyone has their new home goals, whether you're buying or selling. If you're
Yeah.
buying, it takes you a week to get pre-approved. You're in the market.
Yeah.
Congratulations, you're in the market
Off you
End
go.
of
Yeah.
January. And we love it because 'cause we're like, "Oh my god, we've come out of hibernation of December, and I've got
Yeah. Let's
clients
go.
ripping and roaring,
Yeah.
and the pipeline's full." And so we're showing houses. We show a house to these guys once every 2 weeks because there's fuck all in the market, and then when the good one hits middle of February, it's the only good one we've seen, it gets 8 offers, and it drives up the price by
Yeah.
50, 60 grand,
Yeah.
which then
Exactly.
drives up the sale price.
Yeah.
It's it's this, and then you get through April, and you get all the listings in April and May. I think we
Yeah.
had 826 listings in
Yeah.
April,
New listings
and
to market, double
y
what we did in March.
yeah, double, and May is always the highest listing month, so we're gonna get the
Yeah.
most listings this month, probably another 950, maybe we'll crack 1,000 this
Yeah.
year,
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah.
That floods the market, prices come down, best deal is June, July because 'cause you're picking off the scrap of, spring that didn't move because they priced too high, like your $500,000 house in
Exactly.
Mount Uniac.
Yes.
My
Yeah.
my thing is like this hysteria in February and March that always seems to happen is like people running around trapping each other to get into these houses because there's not a lot of inventory.
Yeah.
Like,
But
uh,
I think,
yeah,
do you think that might be the fact that everybody wants to be in their new house for May, June/July so they can enjoy summer after, like, going through the depths of winter and everything, and like, great, I want my new house, I want it in the summer so we can go and enjoy it and have sunshine and barbecues and decks and backyard play dates.
I'll double advocate with you here. How many clients do you talk to that have like everyone has a timeline when they'd like to be in the new house.
Yeah,
But how many times do you get told, "I wanna be in before the summer?" Honestly,
that's a good question.
because I
This
don't get
year,
yeah,
this year I've had 4.
'kay, okay. So,
And I've
you had
also had sellers that have said, "We want our kids to finish school, so closing date no earlier than the end of June."
right, right. So, okay, what I would say to that is you've had 4 buyers and a few sellers,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I don't my clients, I think 1 has given me a deadline of, like, we wanna be in our new house by the end of August for the start of the school year.
Right. Yeah.
Everyone else I've got is, like,
It's
pretty,
just like,
like
whenever.
they're just looking,
Ish.
but I
Yeah.
find the rush is, like, FOMO. Like, they just
Yeah.
wanna get it
Yeah.
done. They're
Yeah.
sick of looking. And
Yes.
also, like, it's not even that they're sick of
Yeah.
looking. February and March is so barren for listings that, like, when the one thing like, they go you go 3 weeks without showing a buyer or anything or even talking to them. You're like
Yeah.
like, it's that text of, like, "Hey, don't worry. It'll come.
Yeah.
It'll come. It'll
Yeah.
come. Just relax."
Yeah.
But then when it comes, it's like, "Oh my god, I have to get in this today because I haven't seen a house in 3 weeks and I don't want to go." And then but
Yeah.
everyone has that reaction.
True.
And then
Yeah.
you drive up the price.
Yeah.
Like, that just
Because
seems
then
to be like
it's so much demand.
right. But as soon as you get through spring, it peters off.
Yeah. Yeah, once, like, I think also we've always been a bit seasonal in Nova Scotia because we know that June, July, August, yeah, let's call a bit of September. Those are arguably our nicest months here.
Yep.
So, do you feel like going out and looking at houses in those months, or do you want to actually be enjoying life in the weekend and later evenings where you can have a barbecue on the back deck and a beer and all those kind of things? So, it's almost like the people that are out looking in, let's say, May, June,
Yep.
to give like a July, August closing. It's like, yes, those are the times when, you would hope there'd be a lot less competition,
Yep.
but also they're the ones that are like, no, 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 we're going out looking because we really do need to get this going. We
Yeah.
don't want to be waiting until the fall bump when
Yep.
people start looking because they're like, well, I want to be in before Christmas.
Yep. Yep.
And, it's August, September. Yeah, September, arguably into October, not that great in terms of temperatures during the day. Nice, but not like, high 20s, kind
Yeah.
of mid to low 20s. So, yeah, we don't mind going out looking at houses then because there is less for us to do.
I just like the reason I'm bringing at that point is I just find that always adds to April. like that
Yeah,
February and March because it's so barren. Like it's always like April's always a stupid
yeah,
price point. Last
yeah,
year, last year statistically was stupid. It was our highest price point again at I
yeah.
think 636 last year is what April
Yes.
was,
Yeah, it was
and back
high.
and back then we were like, oh my god, that's high. Well, this
Yeah,
year,
yeah, yeah. I mean, it's weird because we always talk at the end of every year and we're like, "Well, what do we think next year?" And I'm like, "Flatlining price."
I think you've done
Blew
that two
that in the
years in a
first
row.
4 months. Yeah, it's like, it ain't flatlining. So,
Oh,
I'm always looking for that caveat as to, like, why did it spike?
oh,
And
I
it's
mean,
got to
okay.
be,
I'll even do you one better. Since we're talking about the market. So here's one that I can't wrap my head around. Did you know what the months of inventory jumped to for this month?
what did I have? I can't remember. I think I had, like, 2.8 months or something like that. What's it up to now?
3.2,
3.2.
3.2,
Previous month?
2.4.
Okay. So that's as the fact that we know there was a lot more listings that were
Yep,
listed in the month of April,
yep.
but not the same jump in sales. So if the
Oh,
listings more or less
yep.
doubled, went
Pending
from like,
sales. Pending sales was God. Where are they? 451. So
yeah,
830-ish new listings, 450 pending. So we
yeah,
got half the market.
half, but
Yeah.
we still had the existing ones that from
Yeah.
March that didn't sell.
Yep. Yep.
So yeah, you know what? If you're gonna put 800 new listings on the market, you want inventory that stays the same, you better sell 800 houses.
We jumped from 973 active listings in Halifax to 1254. Because this is my other thing that like I understand that there were anomalies in April,
Pricing.
like
Yeah,
$11 million sales, 30
yeah,
some odd listings over a million. Like
yeah.
I understand, but it's still like if I bought a house in the last 2 months, uh, I'd almost be concerned in a sense of like if I knew anything about the market and I was following the real estate market because like there's no way inventory should jump 0.08.
Yeah,
We've never had that. We haven't had ever. It's never jumped that from
yeah.
month to month. We've
No,
never had it. We've never had it go from 950 new listings to 1250 new listings. That's a 30% increase in active listings. Like, and if you go by supply and demand, the more supply you get, prices should come
come
down.
down.
That is like
Yeah, more
that is
choice.
right. More choice. That is the rule. And
Yeah,
Halifax has followed that trend the last few years, where we peak in April, and then we get all these listings, and then it calms down.
yeah,
So I got like when you talk about home prices, I'm looking at it being like, God, something has to.
yeah. I mean, even when you look at sale to list price, that's not dropping.
It's at
Like,
99%.
yeah. Now, one thing we could do is you could look at the price drops to get to a price,
Yep.
and that did jump. That was
Yeah.
at, I think it was like 73,000. So between
Yep.
everything that sold, the ones who had to do the price drop to get to a list price that somebody said, okay, now I'll write you an offer.
Yep.
I can't remember. I think that was something like 32% of the houses had to do the price drop. That was a $73,000 average price drop. But caveat to that again, there was 5 or maybe even 6 houses that had to do over $100,000 price drops because you were so out to lunch when you listed it. And the other interesting thing, let's go back to people who want to sell their houses on their own.
Okay.
Because guess who had to drop by $500,000 to get to a list price where they got an offer? And then guess who dropped another $200,000 when they accepted the offer? A
Hold
for
on.
sale by owner.
Hold on. Hold on. Someone's selling their house,
Someone selling their house
dropped it by 500 grand,
to get to the list price that somebody then decided to write an offer on, and the offer was for 200 grand less than
and
what
they
they had
took it.
listed at that stage, and they accepted it. So they
Was this
dropped
your list?
$700,000.
Was this
Indigo
your listing?
Shores. No.
And yeah. Okay.
No.
Indigo.
And again, for sale by owner.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
like, you look at the accuracy of a realtor to get your market analysis right. That's part of the biggest reason, because, yeah, you took, I can't remember how many days on market it was, but it was a long time on market.
Well, we when we do market analysis, and I think and like we always look at you go to Paragon, right? And you
Yes.
go and you do the map draw to get
Yeah.
your little map of like
To
we
get
call it
your
the
area.
neighborhood
Yeah.
to get your neighborhood area. And we always do when we do the market analysis, we do the house, the market,
Yeah.
and their area, the comparables. Those are the three
Yeah.
things we look at. So the
Yeah.
house, the area district, and then the comparables. Three ways we get to price.
Yeah.
When we look at the area and we look at the district, we look at the inventory because
True.
the inventory in the area and the district might be different than the market, meaning
Absolutely. Yeah.
HRM,
Often
right?
are because we're just looking at all of HRM average.
Exactly. Exactly. I've like for it's gone like we've been doing at least one CMA a week for the last 8 to 10 weeks for people.
Yeah.
Every single one we do for area and district have been all in balanced or buyer's markets.
Wow.
So we go by so just for the audience, we have three markets in real estate. We have seller's market, balanced market, buyer's market. Simple. 0 to 4 months inventory, sellers. So Halifax, we set at 3.2 months inventory.
Yeah.
4 to 6 months balanced, meaning buyers will pay fair market value for a house. 6+ months inventory, buyer's market, you can negotiate the leverage with you, right?
Yeah.
I have not seen a seller's market in nature in like some of the and we're looking at pockets in Indigo Shores, Terrence Bay, Tantallon, St. Margaret's Bay,
Yeah. So good
Lance.
variety all over the place.
The
Yeah.
only thing I haven't hit is fucking Dartmouth, and I know that is all
Oops.
sellers. I know
Yeah.
Dartmouth is sellers, and I know Northern
Yeah.
Halifax is in like the most sellers market ever.
Yeah.
Um, you brought up Indigo Shores. Every time I do a market analysis in Indigo Shores, they're in like 12 to 13 or 14 months of inventory. They're in
Yeah.
Indigo. If you crop that map out and you do the math, and the math is simple. How many houses sold in the last 3 months? Oh, 10? Okay. Or whatever the hell it is. And then he goes, if we don't get any, how many active units we have for sale? 100. Oh, okay. So we're selling 3 homes a month divided by 100. Oh, we're at like 30 months of inventory. Like that's the math. It's a simple
Yeah.
equation you can calculate.
Yeah.
Every time I look at Indigo Shores, I'm like,
Yeah. But you know the answer.
I know. It's the
New
new builds.
construction.
It's new
Yeah. You got
construction.
to strip all the new ones out
Yeah.
because
But
sometimes they're not even built.
even then you still
They're not
but
even there for sale.
if you strip out the new construction, it only brings it down to 9. They're still
As little
sitting.
as that, they're still sitting.
Oh,
Well,
Indigo
it could
sits.
even I know that lakefront there definitely sits. Like, there's been a few, and again, I think this,
It's the
the for sale by
that's
owner one,
pricing though.
that was
They're
lakefront.
like 2.6,
Yeah,
2.8, 3, 3.5. Like
yeah,
those are like and like you could like the argument and you will get this argument from realtors all the time of like, well, that's a niche market. You're looking for specific buyers, so we have to be on the market for years at a time. I will always argue good price, good condition, good location, you sell. I
yeah,
will always argue that. That will
yeah,
be my forever stance I die on.
yeah,
But when we're talking about Indigo Shore specifically, like could it not just be that congratulations, you've reached the price point of like you've now hit that level where people are like, am I paying $2.6 million to live in Middle Sackville?
yeah, yeah,
Like, have I just not reached threshold?
yeah. Well, I mean, Indigo Shores, there's pockets of places in Halifax where people pay for the name.
Yep.
Like, arguably, you could say Hydrostone is a similar kind of thing that's like, "Ooh, I live in the Hydrostone," and you kinda like, "It's okay, just understand that you're gonna pay
Yep.
for the address." Indigo Shores is definitely like that. You
It's
look at some of the houses that you're like, "I could take that house, dump it in Mount Uniacke."
yep.
You've just, lost I don't
Half,
know how many thousands
half,
of dollars.
half,
Yeah, because we
half.
had a client that bought same builder, same house, new construction Mount Uniacke, 670.
Yeah.
Same house, same builder, same finishers in Indigo Shores, 790.
Yeah. Yeah.
$120,000 more just because I put it in Indigo Shores.
There's a premium.
Yeah,
It's like South End,
yeah,
Bedford.
yeah.
Um,
That's Bedford
there's a
West, yeah.
subdivision. There's a subdivision in Hammond's Plains. I can't think of it.
Is it
You know
Voyager
it.
Lakes or Glen Arbor?
Glen Arbor.
Glen
Glen Arbor's
Arbor.
what I'm thinking of.
Yeah,
Glen Arbor. Voyager Lake's another good shout.
true.
It's almost like Chester. Chester, Nova
Yeah,
Scotia has that. You're paying that premium. Wolfville.
yeah,
If you're living in Wolfville, there is a premium to be in Wolfville.
Yes. I've looked at a few Wolfville houses and went,
Yeah.
"What? Really? This is what I gotta pay?"
Yeah. Like, there are and that does come into it with those
Yeah,
pockets, right?
yeah.
Because that is a Fall River is one of those.
Pockets of, yeah.
Yep.
Like, you go St
I've
Andrews
had
Village West or you go on
Yep,
Headers Way or Piggott to the lakefronts,
yep.
there's a premium, yeah,
Yep. Fall River has that too. There are those pockets that are people pay premium dollars to live in because they are established premium established neighborhoods. I understand
yeah,
that. I still stand by this though. Like if you are starting to see balance in sellers market and balance in buyers markets, like you have to look at the market and go, it clearly wants to shift.
yes,
Like it
yeah,
clearly wants to go to balanced but what does that mean for home prices? Because we're still at
yeah,
and, like, once again, we have anomalies. It'll
yeah,
reset down to 600 grand in May or something, and you'll get
yeah.
one realtor being like, "Home prices have dropped by 10% in Nova Scotia," and you'll see
Yeah,
that stupid TikTok or Instagram headline, and you'll get
yes.
100 comments on it being like, "It's finally happening. Home prices are crashing." No, 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 no. We just didn't sell an $11 million house, guys.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Calm down.
Yeah, that higher echelon, the, like, 800s and above, we didn't sell as many of those, so therefore it brings the average back down again.
How
Because 'Cause I've
okay, here's the
started
question.
looking at buckets, like, the price
Yeah.
buckets to see how many houses in those price buckets are selling, and I keep doing it on the YouTube video, but I keep forgetting to, like, actually map it down. I suppose I could go back to my base spreadsheet and it's in there, but I
Yeah.
should track it because it's like, yeah, if you see an uptick in that normal distribution curve, and it's all of a sudden, instead of it being like kind of, hovering around, let's say 580 to 600 being the middle, if that curve shifts because there's more houses in 8, 9 million, 2 million, 11 million selling, well,
Yep.
guess what? The whole thing shifts, and therefore your normal distribution just moves the average price.
That's
And
it.
it's like, I should do that. I'll do that. I
There you
will.
go.
I shall
There
have a look at my little master spreadsheet, and I'll go back 3 months, 4 months, and be like, "How many houses in what price bracket sold?"
yeah, you'll
And
see it.
that's one of the explanations as to why the average goes up.
But then you put out and then here's the other thing about the market. I guess I'm going around on a rant about how fucked the market
Mm.
is Sandra Pike, who has been putting out pretty decent, like, really good content lately.
Yes.
68% of listings in, like, March had to take a price reduction to sell or
Mm,
something. It was a really high number of
yeah,
listings had to take a
yeah,
price adjustment to be able to move off and get an accepted
yeah,
offer.
yeah.
So you get 68%. I think it's 60. I could be wrong. I'm probably wrong. But
I know it's a high number.
it's a high
Yeah,
number.
yeah,
I remember being like, "Whoa,
yeah,
that's a lot."
yeah,
So if you go like it's above 50, I know for a fact it's above 50. So okay, so we'll just go with that.
yeah,
So if you have over 50% of all listings having to need a price adjustment to get an accepted offer, but we establish an all-time high sale price. That is
yeah, how does that
closer to
make sense?
700K
Yeah,
than 600K.
yeah, and that's stats. So I was always told by my A-level maths tutor, which in the UK, like, it's kinda like 17, 18 is when you do A
Yeah.
levels because we
Okay.
finish high school at 16.
Yeah.
And I was always like, day one, he said, "Okay, kids, it's statistics for the next 3 months." And we're like, "Oh, shoot me now." He
Yeah.
said, "There's only three kinds of lies in the world." And I'm like, "What's he on about?" He said, "There's lies, damn lies, and statistics." And that's by a quote from a British Prime Minister called Benjamin Disraeli, and that
Okay.
stuck with me for life because 'cause I'm like, "Yeah, you can make stats say whatever you want."
Oh, yeah.
And I think there's with Sandra, I think there's a little bit of that going on because 'cause I'm like, I don't think it's as many as you think, Sandra, because there's a couple of ways as well that she does her, like, number of listings that were sold,
Yeah.
and a couple of times she's told me, like, the way she's calculated it, and I keep going, "That's not right. You're missing something." Because she's like, "Yeah, did you realize only 10% of all the houses we list are selling?" I'm like, "Nah, that's not right. Like,
No.
doesn't make any sense."
Your inventory would be much higher.
Yeah. I'm like, so somebody somewhere in her maths ain't
Yeah.
mathing, you know? I'm like, something's you're missing. There's a piece of
Yeah,
the puzzle somewhere that you're
'cause
missing.
there was a headline put out, I think in December, or, it was either November to December or December to January,
Yeah,
and it got pretty viral of, like, Nova Scotia or Halifax dropped, like, 6%
right.
in average price, and I had, like, 4 friends DM me that because,
Say, oh my god.
we talk
Yeah,
about the market all the time, and they send me and they're like, "What do you think?" I go, "Yeah, it also did that the year before. It did
yeah.
that the year before. It
It's
did that the
December.
year before. It's fucking December.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
wait,
yeah.
wait till April."
Exactly. Yeah, market's up 22% on
You know
price if
what I
you look
mean?
at just
Like
December.
you can make data, and
Yeah,
I've learned this because like when you're doing content, I've had moments where I'm like, I could put out a really catchy narrative
yeah,
based off of what this data says. Like, for instance, you could put 666,000. You could do a whole reel on Halifax reaches highest ever sale price.
yeah,
You just that like leave do that the title, and they'll click it because they're like, oh my god, what number is
yeah.
it?
What happened?
And
Yeah,
the truth, but the next month you could do house prices drop 10% because it's going to come down 60 grand,
yeah. I
right?
hope
Like
so.
you hope so. On the data set, you can statistics, you can play with it,
Yeah, exactly.
right? Like,
Yeah.
okay, well, I want to bring it back to practical day-to-day life as a realtor before we get out of here. How are you seeing the market with the clients? Like, how are you experiencing it?
So the sellers, it's you've got to be accurate pricing for the condition of the property in the area that you're selling.
Yep.
Now, we just saw somebody in Brunello and she's had two of the realtors come through. I was number three. And she was like, okay, you're lucky because you got a British accent and my mum's British. So she likes you already. First agent, she was like, they did some interesting marketing that I don't agree with. So they
Okay.
were discounted. Second realtor came in, and before she'd even walked in the house, she gave her the price. And
What?
this is a custom built house. Like she, the person who's selling it,
Yeah.
custom sourced everything and was all over the builder like a rash when it was being built.
Okay.
So like you're not going to be able to look at the outside of this house and go, that's the same as that house, and therefore this is the price. I'm like, you can't because you walk inside and you go, damn, like
Right.
what did you do, type
Right.
thing.
Yeah.
So you can't come in, and so I'm going in there and I'm like, but now I got the problem because I'm looking at it going, there isn't another house like this as a
No.
comparable. So what's the number?
Right.
And that's my like kind of 3 days of going through different houses, different areas all over the place, going, apart from the square footage and the location,
You can
I
go
can
by
find
number of bed,
comparables to that.
bath. Look, you can go by bedrooms, bathrooms, square footage, location,
Yeah.
and then but then on the kitchens, the bathrooms,
Oh
the
yeah.
f you know what I mean? Then you have to get
Yeah.
into, like, okay, it has to be you'd have to do it like, okay, they're looking at a brand new build because you're the custom build, so you need a
True.
brand new build. You
Yeah.
go, "Okay, that kitchen to do that today would be 50 grand."
Yeah.
But my custom kitchen with the custom waterfalls would be 120. And that's
Exactly.
you have to go by the
You have to start
adjustments.
figuring it out. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
I also say that there's definitely, when you come up with a price for the market, there's also a bit of a feel. So
Yep.
often I'll walk in and they say, what feels right? Because you can walk into a house and if you walk in and go, yeah, this is a million, you're like,
Yep.
bloody hell, this is cheap, right? The offer now. Like,
Yep.
you know, and it's a feel from just knowing the kind of
Yep.
house and the kind of market and spending time out there with buyers that you're like, this feels good value.
Yep.
This feels bad value. This feels amazing
We
value right at the offer.
we were to bring this full circle, I know all the listings between fucking Aylesford and fucking Grand Pré.
Exactly.
We were in a house on Tuesday, and we've been in the mall,
Yeah.
and my clients sent me this house, and they're kinda looky-loo, they wanna see everything. I looked at the first 3 photos, and I closed it, and it goes, "What are you doing?" I go, "They're gonna buy it. That's underpriced. There's no fucking way.
Yeah.
There's no way. I was like, either the agent's stupid or the agent's trying to get multiple offers, and I think they're trying to get
Right.
multiple offers.
Right.
Sure enough, check got in the listing, they both took 4 steps, we're writing an offer today. I go, "Okay, it's 460." And, I said, "Okay, you're get ready to pay 5." And they're like,
Yeah.
"What?" I'm like, this this has been designed this way."
Yes. Exactly. There's
Just
an intent to the pricing strategy.
um, craziest thing, we were first to offer, gave them list, took it.
Nice.
I could not I almost wanna call the agent and be like, "Hey, you're leaving 40, 50, like, comfortably 40 to 50 grand on the table."
Yeah.
Like, my clients are over the moon because
Yeah.
we were in that house and they were like, "This is a $500,000 house." I'm like, "This is a $500,000 house. Write the offer.
Yeah.
Buy
And give
it."
them the 460 now.
And just
Yeah.
don't even and we wrote the letter because you just
Yeah.
wanted to tug on the heartstrings to get, like,
Just to make sure. Yeah.
"Here's the letter, love us." And within 3 hours of them receiving that offer, accepted. So, it wasn't done by design, which
No.
now leads me to know that, okay, they just don't know how to list a property. 'Cause like, when
Yeah.
you talk about that feel, we walked in, I was like, "This is a $500,000
Yeah.
house."
It
So,
feels like it.
if
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
it was. It
Yeah.
is a found no, if I literally was like, if I was listing the house today, it'd be 519.
Yeah.
There's no way I'm starting under
Wow.
5.
Yeah, so somebody's
Anyway,
messed it up a bit. So
I
that's your sellers. That's the
yeah,
seller time. Now, when you start looking at like, okay, is it a good time? Because that's the first question. Is it a good time to list? I'm like, if you price it correctly and the condition is good, there's never a bad time to list. Short of no houses are selling for the last 2 months, like zero house. And I'm like, it's never going to happen.
yeah,
So, like, people always say, well, it's January. Is that a good time to list? Depends
pros
on
and
the
cons.
price and the condition and, like,
Yep,
what's the market doing, but market's active. We never get to a point where there's 0 sales in a month.
yep,
Um, so that's the seller side. Now for the buyer side, it's what you were just saying. It's like when you see a house and you walk in there and you go, "Oh my god." It's like, just you guys carry on walking around the house. I'm writing up the offer now. Like,
yeah,
we're not going to a coffee shop to discuss it. We're not sleeping on it overnight. We're writing the offer,
right.
and that's the key thing for the buyers right now is I'm like, keep actively looking, and when you see the one, get your offer written.
Yep.
Because I've luckily for me on the listing side, we've had 4 houses, and so far, 4 of them have all had multiple offers.
That's
So
so interesting.
and it's like, it's got to be like
Because
the one just around the corner from me, Fall River, that one was it was a bit of a rush to get it on the market because their situation changed. She accepted a job
yep,
and therefore it's like, well, we weren't planning on this. This was meant to be a little bit later.
yeah,
Like and I'm like, well, how soon can you be ready? And he said, well, we've known we were going to accept this job like from 2 weeks ago. So we're kind of ready now. I'm like, okay, give Trevor a ring. Can we get in
yep,
there? Do all this kind of stuff. And then we're taking the photographs on the Wednesday. And I'm like, okay, so we'll list because I usually like a little bit of time. Like, I don't
yep,
like to take photographs today and we're listing for sale tomorrow. I'm like, no, no, like we'll take photographs today. We'll go live on like a Tuesday or a Wednesday next week. She says, well, can we go tomorrow? I'm like, Trevor, can we go? Like, I got no photographs. Trevor, can you do tomorrow? And he's like, yeah, you can pay for 24-hour turnaround and get photographs back overnight. You'll have them tomorrow. I'm like, okay, but what about drone video? What about the realtor 2-minute video walkthrough that we always do? Like, what
yep,
about all this stuff? Because we just recorded it all. So I'm on the hook paying for it all.
yep.
And Trevor's like, well, I can't get you the video back in 24 hours. He says, you'd have to pay me a lot, but I could do it. And I'm like, well, no. Okay. Like, I think we're going to be on the market for a week. So, like, it's okay. Get me the video on Monday. He's like, okay. So we put the house up on the Thursday, 2 viewings on Thursday, 2 more viewings on Friday, and Friday morning, one of the guys even rang me up and said, "You haven't got anything on here that says all offers open for 24 hours and you're also not waiting for a time." I'm like, "No, because it's $890,000. Like, I'm not playing
Yep,
that game.
yep,
So we're just gonna accept offers when they come in." He's like, "Right, it's like 7 o'clock on the Thursday. we're gonna be in at 9 o'clock on Friday. Don't accept an offer before we get a chance to look in." And I'm like, "Well, I can't promise you that." Like,
Yeah.
if an offer comes in, I can
Yeah.
ask politely that the agent that sends me an offer leaves it open till 12 noon on Friday, but I
Yeah.
can't not.
Yeah.
And
You can't
especially
not
if an offer
present it.
comes in and it's a brilliant offer, I'm going to say to my clients, we should take it.
Yeah.
So anyway, he comes in and within half an hour of him walking in the door is like, "We're sending you an offer." And I'm like, "Okay." So I wait, offer comes in, and then all of a sudden I sell them to the other agents, and the other agent's like, "Great, we're sending an offer in. Great, we're sending an offer in." So now all of a sudden it's 3 offers and I've had 4 viewings, and it's 1 day on the market. And I'm like, "Okay, off we go." So,
Right.
even at 890 in Fall River, there's people out there that are like, "Yeah, we're writing offers
And
quick."
I really wanna preface this. You don't do that bullshit in a sense of,
Mm,
like, you list what it's worth.
sensible.
Like, you
Right.
don't do the "we're low" to get multiples.
No.
So you have 4 listings, and
Yeah.
and I've seen them all. They're all pretty high price points.
Yeah, like, what was there was the 890.
Yep.
There was what was the one in Halifax, North End? Was that 790? I think that
I
was
think it like
790. Yeah, that was
yeah.
790. And then I can't remember. Oh, the other one was like
Yeah.
575 in Lower
Yeah.
Sackville.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
then
I remember
and
that
then
one.
there was the Middle Sackville one that went for ask price.
Yeah.
So I'm like, they all went, a couple of them went over asking, but apart from that, all the other 3 went at asking.
Right.
So it's like,
'Cause
look, we're not trying to make millions here. We're just trying to sell our houses at a fair price, and
yeah.
we'd like to not have 3, 4 weeks of viewings. Thank you very much.
Yeah. You're
Like we
doing
can get
but
2 or 3 days. That's good.
but what I mean by that is, like, you're doing exactly that. You're putting a house on the market, you're getting it ready as a product for the buyer to buy it,
Yeah,
and you're asking what it's worth.
yeah,
And you're getting multiple offers. Because it used to be to get multiple offers, people did bullshit. And
yeah,
some of them still do it where they drop it by more than less like 50 grand to get
yeah,
2 or 3 for the Instagram post.
yeah.
You're getting multiples, and you've also been in multiples in South End. You keep getting into
I
multiples
have.
over $1,000,000
Yeah,
homes.
which is annoying. I'm like, it's over 1,000,000 people. Why am I competing? God's sake. So yes, there is that as well.
Yeah, so here's a question, and I'm curious. Is the market hot? You know what I
Uh,
mean?
yeah.
Because
I
by
mean,
what you're
it's not.
thank you.
Is what everything should tell you. But then all of a sudden, you go out there and you're like, "Wait a minute, why am I competing on $1,000,000 stuff?" Some of the other ones we've looked at, I'm like, "Okay, this could take a while for a sell, so we'll pass because it's just not right for us." And then 2 days later, you get Paragon notifying you that it's got conditional, and you're like, "Oh, I thought this was gonna take forever." So it's just a confusing market because
Thank you.
all the stats say,
It's
3.8
slowing
months
down.
coming in, slowing down, coming to a balanced market. But
Yep.
then we're at like 99 point something sale to list price.
Yep.
Days on market are like 38, 40 days. So that's not crazy fast either.
No, slow.
So, so apart from high average price, a little bit of a discount, but let's say high average price, and all of the other markers are starting to kind of go towards the balance. But for some reason, when I'm out there, I'm like, this does not feel like I'm balanced. This feels like I'd be like, okay, do I like this house? Yes, we better write an offer.
Yeah.
And then, funnily enough, the other one in the north end of Halifax, when close to the one I sold, that went, I think it was like, I can't remember, 35 over asking, maybe 45, something like that. There was another one further down where someone had done, like the Halifax, buy the crappy old house, keep the foundation, and build a brand new house on top of the old foundation.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
Someone did that, listed it at, I want to say it was 1.25 million. And I remember looking at that, and my clients that had sold the one just up the road were like, "Oh my God, did you see the price on that?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's going to sit. There's no way they're selling for that." Bugger me. 2 days later, after I said that, conditional. And I'm like, "Are you having a laugh? Like, how did that happen?" Like, I just said it's gonna sit. Nope. And it went for more as well. I think it was listed at like 1.25 and it sold for like 1.22 7, 8 or something like that.
Okay,
I was like,
28 grand over is not horrible. Still
on
though.
1.25
I
million.
know, I know, I know,
I'm
I
like, this
know.
is the north end of Halifax,
That is wild.
and we're hitting close to 1.3 million in the north end of Halifax.
Did you increase your price?
Well, no, we'd already sold. But but it's good news for those buyers because what they're gonna do is they're gonna take the roof off and go up a level. And I'm
Oh
like,
my
"Well, it's okay
god.
because you bought it 8 whatever,
Yeah.
25, 830, whatever
Yeah,
the
yeah,
number
yeah.
was." So I'm like, "You could easily spend 250 grand and you're still okay compared to
Y
the one just down the
compared to
road."
that thing.
Yeah.
That just seems to be like, and this goes back to my theory of like, I feel like it's so fucking barren in
Mm.
February or March that it just turns into this frenzy of like
In April/March.
April,
Late
March and
March.
April. Like,
Late
yeah,
March
yeah,
into
yeah,
April, yeah.
yeah, it just turns into this thing of like people being so aggressive on houses
Mm.
when like because it's so and to be fair, like we had a really bad winter. So
Yeah,
like
it lasted a long time with all that
no
freezing.
one listed,
Yeah,
right? Because it was a shit winter and it lasted a long time.
yeah,
So like that just adds to the bear, which just makes people like, I
yeah.
don't know. Every time I think I've got this market, every time, every time I call you every time, being like, can you make fucking sense of this?
Nope.
Because I'm
No.
struggling here, Richard.
Well, there was my famous prediction for 2026, flat line on the price. Yeah, nope. Blew that one already. Blew it. But it's
uh,
for buyers, I think it's just like, just be sensible. Like, just remember, like, way at the beginning of this podcast, I'm like, at some stage, Jason's gonna have to sell that parent-in-law's house for whatever the
yeah,
number's gonna be. So you
yep.
got to be sensible on the purchase price
I
and don't get caught up.
I think now, like if I was gonna give, we live and die by comps now.
Yeah.
Before, like, if you go back
Mm,
4 years, we didn't have to do comparables. We did, like, because
no.
the market just kept going up and up and it was rampant.
Yeah.
Now I have to be like, for instance, like, on that house we're talking about where we were in Tuesday that we wrote the offer on at
Yep.
460. I'm driving home and thank God I have a wife who's a realtor now because I got to call and be like, "Hey, I need you to pull up
Yeah.
comps.
Whilst I'm driving. Yeah.
I need to know, like, where should this be at?" And she was like 510, 515, 520, like, somewhere in there.
Oh.
And I'm like, "What's the comparable?" Because she's only been doing it for a year, so I wanna make sure.
Yeah.
Emails me the comp, pulled over, looked at it, and go, "Fuck me, that house should
Yeah.
be 510, 520." Like, she's
Yeah.
nailed it.
Yeah.
And I'm there like, "I don't get it." But,
Yeah.
like, I don't
What happened?
like, it's also like, but, like, on the other side of it, like, for instance, for you, like, going back to the beginning of this podcast, um, you're in a house for $500,000 in Upper Mount Uniac, and you've got
Mm.
a comparable down the road, 525 with a single detached garage that's fully finished.
Yeah.
And you're like, you have
Doesn't work.
you have to check comparables.
Yeah.
You have to now. If you're
Yeah.
trying to get anyone to write an offer on any boxes, and it has to be 90-day history.
True. Yeah.
Like, you can stretch it to 6 months. I understand sometimes you don't have a good comparable.
Yeah.
So, like, 6
Yeah. So you
months,
go digging for a little longer. Yeah.
yeah, you gotta go like, but anything after 6 months, like, you cannot. You need to leave it alone
Yeah.
because the market
Yeah.
moves too much. But you
Yeah.
have to go if you're buying a house, you have to look at 90 days to 6 months of history for comparables, and we're talking similar square footage, bathroom, bedrooms, location. You can adjust
Finishes.
the finishes,
Yeah.
fine,
Yeah.
but, like, you are playing a game if you do not. You are
True.
leaving because if it's 666 all-time high price, well, it's either we're going to the moon.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
either that's it. We're going to 700 for everyone to retain value in their home,
Yeah. We better not.
or
We're going the other way.
we're
Yeah.
going the other way.
Yeah.
And then we've been saying this for years of like, when are we going the other way? Because we
Yeah.
can't sustain these prices, but
No.
people keep buying them. So it's a matter of like, if you're trying to insulate yourself, it's comparables, and you can't buy the unless you're planning on being in this house for 20 years. You can't buy the prettiest
Yeah.
thing on the block.
No. No. I mean, they always say, like, everybody, any investor slash flipper will say we make our money when we buy.
100. Oh my god,
So be
it's the
careful
purchase
when you
price.
buy. Like,
It's the purchase
you've got
price.
to get it right
Yeah,
because, no amount of upgrading will fix a bad purchase price. Just
No.
doesn't work that way. Like, it
No,
doesn't.
no.
So it's like, you can't fix your way out of a shitty purchase price.
Agreed. Agreed. Okay. I'm
There you
gonna let
go.
you go
There's
because
the quote.
I've held you long enough. Do me a favor. I'm gonna I'm leaving that in there.
Yeah,
I've held you long enough. I've taken up enough of your time. Thank you as always, sir. I always
no
appreciate
worries.
you.
Yeah,
I'm gonna hit stop. Just stay on for the next 5
yeah,
minutes for this thing to upload.
yeah.
Okay? Thank you. Thank you so much for listening to the podcast. You can find our contact information in the show notes. Don't forget to subscribe. Thanks again.